And I can tell you one thing, since I started, it's been a crazy 6 months, really. So you will see more about that today, because we have invited you to share what we have been up to during this past semester. And it all started with people, of course. So we started with a team of 6 founding scientists. You have the faces here, they will be on stage later. But also, since then, we have grown up. And we have also even new interns, some of them present today. So welcome to them. They are on board. They chose well their date for start. And with all the team, I'm very happy today to tell you about what we have been working recently. And to put it very simply, this is what we have been doing. So we are presenting today the first ever released real-time voice AI in this room and on the live stream. So the team has been heroic. I'm very proud of them. They might look a bit tired. So within 6 months, from scratch, we developed this, you will see in a sec, this research prototype, which is really an experience that we are going to take you through with a small team, with the precious help of 1,000 GPUs from our partner Scaleway. So we are going to discover it. But before that, I have to introduce it more formally. You might remember that kyutai means something in Japanese, so it's the sphere, the round object. And so when we had to find a name for our AI, we looked into that direction as well. So maybe there are people in the room who know how it goes in Japanese when saying hello on the phone. Anyone in the room? Oh my goodness. Exactly, so it's moshi moshi. So here we are, we called it just moshi. So please welcome on stage Moshi. So I hope you are ready to talk to Moshi. We'll start with a demo on stage live. So in order to do that, it's my pleasure to welcome on stage. So we have Alex, we have Nell, we have Edward, and we have Laurent. Please.
Hi all, thank you for joining us. We're super proud to present you Moshi today. You can see its UI actually right now on the screen. So on the top right corner you can see some delay. We'll tell you more about it later, and you can also see some text that will be printed by the model there. So it's a multi-model model, and Alex will tell you more about it later too. So let's dive straight into a demo.
Hello, how are you today?
Hello, can you tell me your name, please?
Hi, my name is Moshi. How can I help you today?
Hi, Moshi, can you tell me more about yourself?
Certainly. I was created by the non-profit research lab QTI, which focuses on using AI to tackle the main challenges of modern AI.
Okay, that sounds great. Do you know what open source is?
Yes, open source refers to the practice of sharing software source code free of charge.
What are the benefits of open source?
One of the main benefits is that it enables collaboration and allows individuals and organizations to contribute to the development of the software.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Now my friend Edouard has a few questions for you too, if you don't mind.
So let's switch topic. I'm going to climb Mount Everest next month, and
I wanted... That's incredible. What kind of gear do you need to bring?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about, actually. What do you think I need?
Well, you'll definitely need some climbing gear. You'll need climbing shoes, a harness, a belay plate, and a rope.
Okay, I think I have all the gear that I need, so can you tell me a bit about how to prepare myself?
Sure. First, make sure your body is in shape, because you'll be climbing for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. What else?
Also, make sure you have the right shoes.
Yeah.
You don't want to be hiking in sandals.
That's right.
You might want to take your time getting your climbing shoes on, because you don't want to be using an egg.
That's true. Can you tell me a bit about altitude? I've heard about it.
The altitude on Mount Everest is around 8,848 meters.
So how should I prepare for that?
Well, you will need to adjust your training to include higher altitudes.
Actually, can you tell
And
me
you might want to try some altitude
bit
training.
about like the history of climbing Mount Everest?
Sure. Mount Everest was first climbed in 1953 by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay.
Who was Tenzing Norgay actually?
Tenzing Norgay was a Sherpa climber from Nepal.
Oh, that's cool.
And Sir Edmund Hillary was a New Zealander.
So now speak like you're super scared because you're stuck on Mount Everest and you don't know how to go
I'm
back.
not scared.
You're not scared?
I'm more excited.
Yes, we are excited too. So now Nel will continue the demo.
So far what you've seen is mostly about having interactions, about factual stuff, conversations and so on. So one experimental feature that we have been included in Moshi as well, and that was just tried by Edward, is the ability to express and understand emotions. So maybe we can try various speaking style and so on. Let's go.
Hey, how's your day?
Speak with a French accent and tell me a poem about Paris.
Paris, the city of love, where time stands still, and hearts take flight. In the heart of Europe, it's in prime. The Seine River flows, a beautiful sight, as the lights twinkle and the stars glow clear.
Okay, thank you, Moshi.
The beauty of Paris.
Okay, that was great, very heartwarming. Maybe we can try something else. So now speak like a pirate and tell me everything about your adventures on the seven seas.
In the folds of time, in the cobblestone streets, a tale of pirates and their bravery, a story of salty winds and the taste of freedom.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Okay, Captain, maybe I have a few questions for you. You can help me with that? So what is the name of your ship?
My ship is named the Black Flag.
Okay.
Homage to our pirate life.
Okay.
What's your name?
My name is Captain Bob.
Captain Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
What brings you to the pirate life?
I don't know, just curious about it, you know, like what does it have for me, you know, to be a pirate? Is it a good life to lead?
It's a wild ride,
Okay.
matey.
Okay,
There's
okay.
freedom, danger, and adventure at every turn.
Yeah, and so, okay, let's assume I become a pirate. So what will my days be made of? Like,
Well, I'd start with the training.
Okay.
Learning how to fight, sail, and understand the sea.
Okay.
And don't forget, pirates have their own code. One where loyalty and respect are everything.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe we can try a last thing. So now speak with a whispering voice and tell me a mystery story.
In the shadows of the underworld, where the cold winds whisper secrets, a tale of darkness and light,
Okay.
a ray of light, a sparkle of hope,
Okay, let's try
a
something.
little star that can't be heard.
Okay. Can you tell me the plot of movie The Matrix?
Of course. The first movie was called Matrix,
Okay.
released in 1999.
Wow.
And it was about a guy named Neo who was living in a world where he discovered he was living in a simulation.
Okay, that sounds great.
second
Yeah, okay, I don't care about the rest. I don't care about the sequels, actually.
Released in 2000,
Okay,
when Neo had to defeat the agents
Okay, thank
and
you,
the
Moshi.
machines to save the world.
Thank you, Mosi. That was great. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye-bye.
And now, for a last demo, we're going to try some role play.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Moshi? Are you there?
I'm here. What's up?
Okay, so I want to do a role play. Let's pretend we're on the starship, the Enterprise, on a mission
Okay.
given by Starfleet. How does that sound?
It sounds exciting. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Great. So I'm going to be the captain and you are the navigation officer. Our mission is to discover life on a new distant planet. All right? All right, Moshi?
Yes, sir. Sounds like a challenging mission. I'll be ready.
Okay. So the planet is Sirius 22. Can you plot a trajectory course to it, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long is it going to take us to get
I've
there?
mapped it out. It's
Okay.
approximately 5 months to get there.
Okay, that's not too bad. Do you think we have all we need on board the ship to start the
Yes,
mission?
sir. We have everything we need.
Okay, can you check that all the systems are nominal, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are all the systems nominal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, can you give me a countdown and then we jump into hyperspace, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let's say we're in hyperspace, and now we have 5 months. I want to learn to know you a bit better. Why did you decide to join Starfleet?
I wanted to make a difference in the world.
Okay. How long have you been in Starfleet?
I've been in Starfleet for about 6 years.
Okay, that's a long time. I guess you've done a lot of other missions. Which one was the most exciting?
The most exciting mission was when we discovered a new planet with intelligent life.
Oh my God, that must...
It was incredible.
Okay. How advanced was it?
It was very advanced. They had technology we'd never seen before.
Oh my God. So did we benefit from discovering that new technology? Okay. Well, I hope today's mission is going to be as exciting.
I hope so too.
Okay. So let's jump a bit forward in time. It's been 5 months and I think we're ready to jump out of hyperspace.
Let's do it.
On my command, please jump out of hyperspace.
Yes, sir.
No. Okay. Are we out of
Yes,
hyperspace? Hyperspace, sorry?
Out of hyperspace.
Amazing. Let's use a scanner to scan the planet and give me the composition of its
Yes,
atmosphere.
sir.
Okay, what's the results of the scan?
The atmosphere is composed of nitrogen, oxygen, and a tiny amount of carbon dioxide.
Okay, that's a good sign for life, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how could we... Do you see any land or any sea? What's the situation on that?
There are no land masses, but
Okay.
there are oceans.
Okay, just oceans. Okay, so I guess we have to prepare a canoe in the shuttle, right?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a canoe?
We do.
Okay, that's lucky. Do you know where we put it in the ship? I can't find it.
It's in the engineering bay.
Okay.
I'll help you find it.
How do I get from here to the engineering bay?
You can use the elevator, but it might take some time.
Okay, well, I'm going to do that, grab the canoe, and then we can go on with our exploration. Thank
Yes,
you very
sir.
much, Moshi.
Yes,
and
sir.
Let's exploration continue.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Moshi.
Yeah, thank you, Moshi.
So that was
First of all,
sci-fi. I think we
yeah.
have now to come back to science.
Yep.
And I would like to tell you more about how we got there and to lift a bit the hood of Moshi with a bit of technology and science, starting with Neil. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. So what you just saw, is all this mode of interaction with the AI, and the main motivation for the project was the following. So now for a few years, most of you are using AI in your daily lives, communicating mostly through text, and while using like a text chatbot works well for some cases, it can fall short. So what you've seen here is, if you want to have a spontaneous conversation, if you want to have interpretation, emotion, all of these kind of things is much better communicated through speech than through text, because when we have a conversation with someone, we don't only communicate the text that we say, right? The way we say things are at least as important as the content that we say. And so, for example, we listen, we think, we answer almost instantly, which makes the conversation very alive, very spontaneous, and so on. There is a natural flow which can combine interruptions, for example. So if I didn't get a word, I can ask someone to repeat, So there is all these dynamics of conversations that are very hard to do with text. And this paralinguistic communication, so everything that is not textual and that makes a conversation between humans very real. And so we wanted to bring that to our interaction with machines. And if you look at the current state of the art in terms of making voice AIs, you have seen it in a lot of assistants and so on. It's kind of typically the diagram behind me. So let's say I want to ask for the recipe for a pizza, okay? So I'm going to ask, hey, assistant, give me the recipe for a pizza. And voice activity detection is first going to decide that my query is over, right? So it's going to detect that I'm done speaking. When it finds out that I'm done speaking, it's going to transcribe my speech to text with automatic speech recognition. Then a large language model is going to take this text query, produce an answer, like you need flour, tomatoes, and so on. And finally, a text-to-speech algorithm is going to synthesize an answer. This works kind of well, but it comes with two main limitations. So the first one is that this pipeline is very complex, and having it with many different models induces a latency that is currently between 3 and 5 seconds between the moment you ask what you want and the moment you get your answer. Okay, it's fine if I ask one question, but if I want to have like a lively conversation with a lot of turns, like we just heard, it can become extremely annoying. The second limitation, maybe more important, is that since we go through this bottleneck of information that is text, we lose all the information that is not textual. So in the beginning, we communicate words, emotion, communication, and so on, and all of this is lost. So these are the two main limitations of the current approaches that we wanted to tackle. So our approach, which is kind of the way we address most problems in machine learning, was the following. How can we take this very complex pipeline made of separate blocks and merge it into a single deep neural network? And to explain a bit the background about our model, I would just like to give a brief background on how a text model works. So the way you train a text model is that you have this neural network that we now call large language model, so these very large deep neural networks, and you give it a sentence like QTI is an AI research lab based in, and you train it to predict the next word. For example, in that case, the right word is Paris. So that's the way you train these models on very large data, and you get them to learn their knowledge. On the other hand, what we did is adapted from that, but a bit different. So what we did is that instead of giving text to the model and making it produce text, we designed a new audio language model. So the way it works is that we take speech without text, just annotated speech of people speaking and so on. We compress it so heavily that it can become similar to pseudo words that we can then give to an audio language model. And this audio language model takes a small snippet of audio and is trying to predict the next segment. And if we do it enough, then the model has learned a lot, as much about speech as a text model, language model will learn about text. And to illustrate that with a very concrete example, we were kindly allowed to use a small voice snippet that I'm going to play right now in French.
Qui va être l'émergence de l'intelligence artificielle partout dans nos vies. C'est-à-dire que tout ce que l'on fait, tout ce que l'on utilise va être basé sur des algorithmes.
So you may recognize the voice of Xavier Niel in this small 7 seconds. And so if we give this small 7 seconds to our model, we get the following.
Qui va être l'émergence de l'intelligence artificielle partout dans nos vies. C'est-à-dire que tout ce que l'on fait, tout ce que l'on utilise va être basé sur des algorithmes. C'est-à-dire que c'est pas simplement le langage qui va amener de la puissance au calculateur, c'est aussi tous nos algorithmes, tout ce qui va être calculé automatiquement et qui va nous permettre de répondre à être beaucoup plus efficient. Ces mécanismes, vous avez, ils sont là, il suffit juste de savoir les utiliser et de l'avancer et de les paramétrer pour que cela devienne utilisable et soit le plus efficient possible. Ça, c'est un point qui est majeur et c'est l'émergence de l'intelligence artificielle.
And so, thanks Xavier, first of all, for being a part of this talk. And so, the goal of this example was to show you, that this model, just by listening to speech, it can understand what makes a specific voice, what makes specific acoustic condition, what makes speech with hesitations, interruptions, emotion, and so on and so forth. But we are still far from having a fully fledged conversational model. And to explain how we fill this gap between audio language models and Moshi, I would like to welcome my good friend, Alex.
Thank you very much, Nel, for the intro. So yeah, I'm super excited to be presenting to you some of the major discoveries and breakthroughs that we discovered in the past 6 months in order to make interaction with AI as realistic as possible. So the first aspect is multimodality. And Moshi can listen and generate audio, but it's not the only thing. It also thinks as it speaks, meaning that it has textual thoughts, which is what we show on the screen during the demo. And the reason for that is that even though speech can represent almost everything we wish to convey with language, written text is the most efficient and compact representation for it. And we found out that using it along with audio greatly benefits to train Moshi faster and get it to give us better answer. By producing jointly text and audio in the split of a second, Moshi is able to rely on this rich backbone to provide the best answers to us. So that was the first aspect. The second aspect, and probably the most important, is the fact that Moshi is multi-stream. There is not just one stream of audio with, like, for instance, us talking and then Moshi replying. It's actually two streams of audio because we want Moshi to be able at all time to speak and to listen. Existing work might, for instance, rely on voice activity detection in order to switch from this is Moshi's turns to this is the user's turns. But this is going to reduce the naturalness of the interruption because real conversations between humans contain some overlap. It needs to have the ability to interrupt someone. And if we don't have that, we're going to lose precious seconds with every such interactions. Thanks to this multi-stream aspect, now we can say that we almost forget that Moshi is not in the room with us in the same physical space when we discuss with it. Finally, I want to highlight that Moshi, it's not just a conversational speech AI model, it's more generally a framework. And it's a framework that can be easily adapted to a number of tasks and use cases. So one instance that we're going to show is that we trained Moshi on Fisher, which is a classic academic dataset that was collected in the 90s and the early 2000s. And it consists in participants that are joining through phone and are randomly matched, and they have to discuss a topic. So we're going to see a discussion of Manu, which is going to present after, discussing with one of these participants, and you'll see that it's very fascinating because it's like making a phone call to someone that lives in the past.
Hello, my name is Bob. What's your name?
Hi, this is Jay.
Nice to meet you, Jay. Where are you from?
I'm calling from South Arizona.
Oh, brilliant. So you're American?
Yes.
So you know about the US, right?
Sorry?
So you know about the US?
Yes.
Okay, so who's the president right now?
The President Bush.
Oh, okay. And I heard he met the president of France recently.
Yes, I heard that too.
What's his name again?
His name is Jay Rock.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so you know a lot. Do you have a computer?
I have a computer, I have a cell phone.
Okay, what kind of computer and cell phone is that?
The cell phone is a Motorola.
Okay, and the computer?
A computer is a Dell.
Is a Dell, okay. And what is...
Laptop.
What kind of operating system do you have on your computer?
Windows 2000.
Windows 2000? Oh, brilliant. Okay. Nice. I feel like yeah, go for it.
I have a plug-in modem.
Wow. You're super well equipped, Jay. That's impressive. Okay, thank you very much, Jay. I feel like I learned a lot about you. It was brilliant talking to you.
So we come back in 2044 with Edward to keep going with the science behind.
Hello everyone, super glad to be here in front of all of us to talk a bit more about how we train Moshi. So as you've just shown, the data that was used to train the model will very strongly impact the knowledge and the capacity of the model. And so one of the challenges of training audio language model is actually the amount and diversity of available data that we can use to train the model. So because of that, we have to rely on text to acquire knowledge. And so the first step of training Moshi was actually to train a text-only large language model that we called Helium, and which serves as the foundation for Moshi. The second step is actually to, as Alex was explaining, to perform some joint pre-training on a mix of textual data and audio data. The goal here is to learn a common representation between text and audio so that the model, when the model is generating audio, it can actually use all the knowledge that it acquired by being trained on text. And so what we want to do here is really to transfer the knowledge from text to audio. Once we've done these two steps, what we get is what we call a foundation model for audio. And so basically that's a model that can take audio as input, generate audio, but at that point it doesn't know how to hold a conversation. So basically what this model will do is that it will generate a continuous stream of audio, but it will model the different speakers, it will model the background noise, etc. And so you cannot really interact with that model. So what we need to be able to teach Moshi how to speak, when to speak, etc., we need to do what's called fine-tuning on conversation data. Again, it's very hard to find large amounts of such data, and so here we decided to rely on synthetic dialogues to train the model. So how did we do that? So first, we started from the text-only language model, and we trained it specifically so that it could generate oral-style transcripts. So what do we mean by that? Is that we want Helium to be able to generate what would look like real transcripts from real discussion, like we just heard, basically. Then, using those transcripts, we can synthesize them with a text-to-speech engine that we also developed in-house. And finally, we can train Moshi on that data. There's one last ingredient to get to Moshi, and it is its voice. So we wanted to give Moshi a consistent voice across interaction, and so for that we worked with an amazing voice artist called Alice, who recorded many monologues and dialogues in different situations using different tone of voice, talking styles, etc., that we then use to train our text-to-speech engine. And maybe we can look at a small video of Alice recording some audio.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll find what you're looking for.
Then, using all this recorded data, we can train a text-to-speech engine that can support more than 70 different emotions or talking style. And actually, we wanted to showcase to you like what this TTS engine can produce. And now what you will hear is some data that was generated with our TTS.
Hey! This time, I'm not chatting, but rather being controlled by text. I can express more than 70 emotions and speaking styles.
Like whispering.
Or maybe I could sing a song.
I can sound terrified.
Or impersonate a pirate, ahoy matey.
I can even speak with a very French accent, just like my inventors.
Looking forward to interacting with you.
All right.
And so that was not recorded data, that was all generated with our TTS. Now, let me welcome on stage Laurent, who will tell you how to run everything efficiently.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Edouard. As Alex already mentioned, Moshi has a theoretical latency of 160 milliseconds. So Moshi is a research product, but we wanted to use it in the real world. So that means that we should also have a very good latency there. For that, we developed our own infrastructure, so fully streaming infrastructure, and we measured the latency from the voice of the speaker back to the headphones or whatever they use to get sound. And we measure a latency between 200 and 240 milliseconds. So that's very good for lively conversation, and that's the best in the world from what we know. So that's great for online users, and it allows you to just use your mobile phone, connect to Moshi, and talk with it. But we also wanted to go one step further. And the next step is to be able to run it on device. And for that, we'll actually play with it on this small laptop. So it's a standard MacBook Pro, and what I will just do is I will go on this tab, turn off the internet, And I also have a wire, so I just unplug this wire, and bear with me, it's pretty experimental, so hopefully it will go well. And I can just launch Moshi. It will be the exact same model that you've seen, like that was running on the cloud, but no, just on device. Oops, sorry.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, can you tell me your name, please?
Oh, sure. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty well, and you?
That's great. I'm Moshi, and I'm here to help you make the most of your day.
That sounds amazing. I'm
Yes, I
actually
can assist you with a wide range of tasks like
Okay.
setting reminders, scheduling appointments, and even providing information on a variety of topics.
I'm pretty sure you can do all that. Yeah, I'm actually in front of a pretty large
I'd
crowd.
be happy to help, but I need to know exactly what you need. Can you please tell me about your current problem?
Actually, do you know the Python programming language?
Okay, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm here to provide assistance, and I'll do my best to make sure that I don't get into any trouble.
Okay, let's say goodbye then. Bye, Moshi.
Well, I'm here to help, and I'm happy to assist you. But just remember, I'm not a substitute for professional help. If you need any medical advice or someone to talk to, you should seek help from a proper
Okay.
source.
So Moshi might have discovered from the tone of my voice that I'm a bit stressed and that I might have to seek for professional advice. Hopefully that's not the case. Anyway, so we're going to release that as part of our open source release. And once again, it allows you to run the model on your device. Please ensure that you have a good microphone so that Moshi doesn't misunderstand what you're saying. And also, we would want to go one step further on top of that, which is running on mobile phone with a more compressed model. And Amélie is going to tell you more about the techniques that will enable this.
Thanks, Laurent. Thanks, Laurent. And you took a real risk by with this demo. Thanks for that. And welcome, Amélie.
Yeah, thanks. So hi, I'm Amélie, and I actually joined Qt only like a bit over 2 months ago. And I've been working a bit on making Moshi a bit more compact. So yeah, essentially, as Laurent just showed, right, we can run Moshi on this laptop and without internet connection. And so one of the main challenges to achieve this is actually the memory usage of the model. So what we did is essentially compress both the model weights as well as the conversation history using state-of-the-art compression techniques such as quantization. So one of the challenges for this is actually that now we are dealing with a multimodal model. And what we find is often that the text and audio modalities kind of behave differently after quantizations. So we did have to find some ways to both evaluate and also balance a bit the discrepancy between the modalities. But once we do manage to do this, what we obtain is models which can be 2 to 4 times smaller than the original model. And this comes with a lot of different benefits. So the first one is, as was just demonstrated, that we can run Moshi on this laptop. And for that, we do not need any internet or any external storage. So this also has some benefits for privacy. A second benefit is simply that we can hold longer conversations. And the reason for that is that the conversation history is compressed, so it doesn't need as much memory just to be stored on the device. And the last benefit is after quantization, the model can run faster, and this also benefits the overall latency of the model. So yeah, this is essentially one way we can make Moshi a bit more efficient. And next I'm going to pass over the mic to Manu.
All right. Thank you, Amélie. Welcome back, Manu. You are back in today time.
So hello, I'm Manu. I've joined Qt 3 months ago, and I would like to tell you about my favorite topic, which is audio compression. So if we want to run Moshi in real time and make it fit in the memory, it's very important that we compress the raw audio signal. So a system that compresses audio is called a codec, and our codec is called Mimi. And Mimi is very good at compressing audio, such that if you would take audio, compress it with Mimi, the file that you would get would be 300 times smaller than the same audio compressed with MP3. Compared to the state of the art, we train Mimi such that it captures both acoustic and semantic features of audio. That way, it transfers better knowledge from text to audio, and also it's much better at understanding what we say. And also, without this capture of semantic properties of audio, it would often babble instead of producing proper English. In addition to this, we also presented audio data to Mimi, which comes from our voice artist, Alice. In that way, Mimi is particularly good at recreating her voice with very, very high quality. So thank you for listening to me. And now I'll pass the mics to Hervé.
Yeah.
So an important topic.
At QTI, we laugh a lot, as you might have noticed, but we are also very serious about safety.
So hello, I am Hervé, and indeed at QTI we care about safety. So one question in particular that we want to address is how to determine if an audio has been generated by Moshi or not. And for this question, we have actually considered two strategies. The first, when online, is quite simple. We just keep track of the audio that Moshi generates by extracting some signatures that we put into a database of generated content. When you are presented with a new audio, we can extract a signature as well. And if we find a match in the database, we know that we have extracted a signature which corresponds to an actual audio we generated. So we can say, oh, this is a generated audio. The second strategy is called watermarking. And in this case, we add some inaudible marks, you can't hear them, to the audio we generate, such that we can detect them with a specific detector. So this is an active area of research, which is both important, challenging, and interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hervé. It's almost time to wrap up. From the seat, I really enjoyed the show. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot for the demos and the risks. Okay, so a few more elements and maybe a few more surprises. First of all, so what you saw today, heard today, again, is so it's an experience, we believe, and it's an experimental prototype that you actually will be able to use soon online. So by the end of the day, even maybe before, at least after this presentation, the demo will be available online. So just take it out from our Twitter account. So that's one thing. But of course, because we are committed to open science, it would be. I mean, it could be interesting to do that, but it's not enough. So what we are planning to do as next steps is to share all the technical knowledge with a technical paper, very detailed, with obviously more than you heard today on stage, although it was already a lot, I think, and also to share the models themselves and the code for training and running and modifying, etc. So this is on the agenda. So I hope you will have as much fun as we did with playing with Moshi. But what is really important, it's not only about fun, it's already about the ecosystem embracing this technology. And we are really eager and very curious to see what's going to happen with people here and you guys in the ecosystem taking it on board. So you will be able to test it, to evaluate, study, adapt, expand for your needs, and actually you will realize that it doesn't take so much data to fine-tune and modify for your needs. So that's very promising. So here we are. We really believe strongly that Moshi has incredible potential in changing the way we communicate through and with machines, that's for sure, and there are plenty of applications, and I particularly like to mention those related to accessibility, in particular for people with disabilities. So a lot of potential there. Last but not least, a few words about important people. So we have three donors and founders. And they were present at the event in November. So there is Xavier Niel. Thank you for being here today in the room and lending your voice. There is as well Rodolphe Saadé and Eric Schmidt. Thanks a lot to the three of them. And now really to finish with, so in a few moments, you will have the opportunity, under the guidance of the team members, to play with Moshi, so with demos in the room. But before that, we will take questions in English and French. You can speak slowly or fast, but there will be no Moshi in the Q&A. But for the people on site, you will be able to play with it after. There will be 3 identical booths in the main room and 2 upstairs. So stay with us afterwards. In the meantime, we have to leave the people online, so thanks a lot for joining out there. Looking forward to your feedback, and with that, we can move to the Q&A session. Thanks a lot, and talk to you soon.